Tonight on Tom's River Schools Today, we will take a look at your upcoming weather.
And as always, we have a look at some of the events from around the school district. Tom's River Schools Today starts in 2 minutes.
The boys and girls in the clique, the awful names at the stick. You're never gonna fit in much, kid. But if you're troubled and hurt, what you got under your shirt will make them pay for the things that they did.
I'm high at the moment. I'm so caught up in this. Yeah, we're just young, dumb, and broke, but we still got love to give while we're young, dumb, young, dumb, and broke. Young, dumb, young, dumb, and broke. Young, dumb, young, dumb, and broke. Young, dumb, broke high school kid. Young, dumb, broke high school kid. We have so much in common. We argue all the time. You always say I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right. What's fun about commitment when we have all life to live? Yeah, we're just young, dumb, and broke, but we still got love to give while we're young, dumb, young, dumb, and broke. Young, dumb, young.
Hello and welcome to Tom's River Schools Today for Tuesday, February the 18th. I'm Julia Zulin.
And I'm Addie Gatanis. Later on tonight, we will check out your weather and we will see how one dog is learning new tricks.
But up first tonight, we take a look at our elementary schools in our Elementary Happening segment.
Starting off our elementary happenings, check in with your main office to see about any upcoming shows.
A golden retriever is living up to his breed's name. The canine has mastered catch and retrieving. He's got that skill down. But as Natasha Acree reports, the art of fetch has Finley chasing records.
You know the drill. Let's go.
Ready? Go! Meets Finley Malloy, a 6-year-old golden retriever from Canandaigua. Finley loves a game of fetch and oftentimes enjoys rolling around in the snow. Husband and wife Rob and Sherry and their daughter Erin say Finley is truly something special.
He's somewhat obsessed with retrieving. He'll do it all day, quite frankly. So he's very focused on that.
Finley, around the age of 2, developed a special talent, taking a dog's love for fetch to a whole new level.
I was sitting out by our fire pit, and one morning I had coffee, and all of a sudden I look over, and he's walking towards me with 4 tennis balls in his mouth. That was shocking. And then, like, as time goes on, my dad would be outside throwing the ball to him, and he would throw multiple balls, just catch it, drop it, and then he'd bring them all back.
Finn, go on.
Finley can hold not 1, not 2, but 6 tennis balls in his mouth at a time.
I think it was summer of 2017 when the first time I saw him do 6. And I got it on video, and I think Aaron has shared that on his page.
Yeah.
And it was just hysterical. And then he just kept doing it. Like, he loves his balls.
Yeah. All the neighbors know that you can't leave balls in your front yard because he'll steal them.
He'll take them.
He'll borrow them.
Finley is kind of a big deal with more than 34,000 followers and counting on Instagram. His handle, Finny Boy Malloy.
After his Instagram kind of exploded with like likes and followers, I'm like, oh wow, people really do like seeing his content. And the comments, I think, are like one of the best parts, is seeing people from all over the world say like, your dog brings me so much joy.
They love him. It's great.
And that's not all. Sherry, Rob, and Aaron are taking the steps to have their dog recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records. The last world record was set by a dog named Augie from Texas at 5 tennis balls in 2003. The Malloys say there are a few technicalities, and it's taken years to submit required documentation.
I first had my mom do a witness statement, and then turns out it can't be family, friends, or coworkers. News to me, didn't know that. And then I had our neighbor submit it. I had her do a witness statement, and then it was in the wrong format. So it's like a lot of obstacles.
But in this clever dog's world, anything is possible.
Let's take a look at today's random fact of the day.
Hi, I'm Stephen Jones with TV21's Random Fact of the Day. Did you know that a gallon of water weighs 8.34 pounds? For every 2.31 feet that water is raised above the Earth's surface, it can create 1 pound per square inch of pressure.
It's time to take a trip around the world in our 60-second road trip. Can you guess where we are today?
She once had me. She showed me her room. Isn't it good? Norwegian wood. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. So I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. I sat on the
It is now time for us to take a look at the dictionary.com's word of the day. Today's word is phletoric, meaning overfull, turgid, inflated, a phletoric, pompous speech. And now for today's sentence. My very astute friend Daniels pulled out a phletoric purse and began to display the marked gold.
Now we're going to take a short break, but coming up, we take a look at our intermediate happenings.
And we also take a look at your weather, so stick around, we'll be right back.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction, oh, beautiful release. Memories seep through my veins, let me be empty, oh, weightless, and maybe I'll find some peace tonight.
no. Starting off intermediate happenings. If you're interested in participating in a spring sport, you must have an updated physical. Sports physicals do expire. The last day to hand in a sports physical is February 24th. No physical papers will be accepted after that date for spring sports. See the school nurses to check on your sports physical status. Sports are baseball, softball, and track and field.
Reminder, we are still collecting coats for our coat drive. Please drop them off in the box located in the main entrance hallway. It is now time for our environmental tip of the day. Each day we will bring a tip that will help save the environment. Let's take a look at today's tip.
Green to go. Not brewing at home? Take a travel cup to your favorite Java joint. They may fill it up at a discount.
Every day on this show, we will be bringing you a tip of the day, so stay tuned tomorrow as we give you another way to help save the environment.
A vegetation fire is causing havoc in California's Tahoe National Forest. Roughly 120 acres were scorched on Monday, according to authorities. Rachel Wolf reports. That was not.
Burned more than 120 acres in Sierraville in the Tahoe National Forest on Monday. CAL FIRE crews helped get it under control in what has already been a busy February.
For this week, we've had 10 fires for 2.5 acres in the Valdosta-Placer counties, and that's the second week of February. Pretty rare.
CAL FIRE Battalion Chief Steve Mueller says low humidity, windy conditions, and no rain have ramped up response.
You would normally in the summertime get 4 engines, an air tanker, an air attack, a helicopter, a dozer, and 2 hand crews to that fire.
And we're seeing that in February.
We're seeing that in February. You can see these heavy fuels, ladder fuels up into the canopy of the tree. That's what these crews are coming and reducing.
Crews have cleared more than 800 acres between Colfax and Applegate. It's one of the 36 state projects approved by the governor to reduce fuels heading into wildfire season.
Hundreds and thousands of personnel hours have gone into this fuel break.
Here's a before and after picture of the North Fork of the American Canyon. Crews cut and clear vegetation down low before it spreads higher and becomes difficult to control.
Once it gets into the canopy, then it starts throwing up embers and spots, and then not only do we have the main fire front, then we have spot fires. And then if it's windy, those spot fires carry ahead of the main fire 200-300, maybe even a quarter to a half mile ahead.
About 15,000 who live in the area are grateful for the fire protection.
We've already experienced 2 power outages because of the wind and how crazy it gets.
Tyler Riccio is clearing defensible space around his home to help out, knowing the best way to fight a fire is before it begins.
If we didn't have all this clearable space, we'd be trapped up here.
Chicago police officers appeared from out of nowhere to rescue a man from the icy waters of Lake Michigan. As Mike Lowe reports, the entire rescue was captured on camera.
It's insane. I think it could happen to anyone, honestly.
Just before 7 in the morning on Saturday,
on the coldest day of the year,
the temperature was in the teens, but the wind chill made it feel like 5 degrees. And this camera captured a remarkable rescue.
It was very tricky.
A 22-year-old man was walking close to the ledge of the lakefront trail.
You gotta kind of watch your step every time you're trying to move, but it's definitely tricky.
He makes his way in the snow until his feet are out of the frame.
Some people are used to snow, so they're like, oh, I can handle it.
Suddenly, a jogger sees him slip.
The lake is right there.
And splash into the icy water.
I'm so thankful there was someone who happened to be a bystander also and was able to call for help.
The jogger heads to Lakeshore Drive, furiously flagging down help as traffic whizzes by. So the Good Samaritan jumps the barrier and goes for help.
And that's amazing, just to see that somebody cares so much about somebody's well-being and life.
The person is in the water, holding onto the ice.
The man struggles in the frigid water. His blurred head is above the ice, but his hands are slipping on the surface.
Terrifying.
Then, seemingly out of nowhere, 2 Chicago police SWAT officers sprint straight across the snow.
You see them running down the shoreline, and it was just absolutely insane.
And without hesitation, they pull the man to safety.
We have the person out, 650 North Lakeshore Drive. We need that ambulance.
As the fire department rushes in with rescue equipment and blankets.
Looks like a male subject. They're working
looking at them right now.
It's amazing. I mean, thankfully they were able to come so quickly.
They do a lot for our country and to help people like when that happens.
It is now time for another break. Coming up later in the show, we will take a look at your high school happenings.
Toms River Schools Today will be right back.
But the butcher don't care if you live or if you die. But I've never touched nothing that my spirit could kill. You know, I've seen a lot of people walking around with tombstones in their eyes.
Last night I had the strangest dream. I sailed away to China in a little rowboat to find you, and you said you had to get your laundry clean.
For high school happenings, attention students and staff. The school store is now open to serve you. We are stocked with all of your Raider apparel needs, including Champion and Under Armour brands. The school store is open every day after school from 1:40 to 2 p.m. We also have Yoo-Hoo, Snapple, and water for $1, as well as many delicious snacks to get you energized for your after-school practices. Stop in soon. It's time to get Raiderized.
Are you looking for some excitement? Do you want to help others? Why don't you become an EMT for the Eastover First Aid Squad? EMT applications can be picked up in the safety office. Just see Safety Officer Kenny or Officer Herbst in the main office.
The Creative Writing and Art magazine of High School North is accepting creative writing and art submissions from all students and staff for the 2020 edition of Polaris. Submissions can be turned into Mr. Domino and BB7 or email them to trnpolaris@yahoo.com.
All Mariners, college visits have been scheduled for this month. Meeting with representatives helps you in your selection process. Come hear what the colleges you're interested in have to offer. You must see Mrs. Rose in guidance to sign up in advance to attend. A list will be posted in your junior and senior English classes, and check High School North's website at trschools.com soon for a complete list each month.
Let's now take a look at what grinds our gears.
Hi, I'm Megan Costello, and what really grinds my gears is when I'm at work and customers are super rude to me.
It is now time for us to take a short break. After the break, we take a look at your 3-day forecast.
Toms River Schools Today will be right back.
Broken bottles in the hotel lobby.
seems to me like I'm just scared of never feeling it again. But I know it's crazy to believe in silly things, but it's not that easy. I remember it now, it takes me back to when it all first started. But I've only got myself to blame for it, and I accept it now. It's time to let it go out and start again. But it's not that easy. But I've got high hopes. It takes me back to when we started. High hopes when you let it go. Crowded hallways are the loneliest places for outcasts and rebels, or anyone who just dares to be different. And you've been trying for so long to find out where your place is, but in their narrow minds there's no room for anyone who dares to do something different. Oh, but listen for a minute. Trust the one who's been where you are, wishing all it was sticks and stones. Those words cut deep, but they don't mean you're all alone, and you're not invisible.
Starting off sports, the Oregon Department of Education will now allow all genders to participate in forestry competitions. Senior Faith Falloon's description complaint is a big reason why. She got interested in the axe throwing competition first. Now she's a successful log roller. Catherine Kiesel caught up with her just outside Portland.
I think I have a natural ability to balance.
Faith says she wasn't always this good.
When I first started, I used to be really bad at it.
That was about a year ago. After a lot of practice, Faith, a senior here at Sabin-Schellenberg, started getting recognized in a sport traditionally dominated by boys.
We wanted Faith to have the opportunity to be competitive.
Caitlin Walker is an instructor here at the forestry program. She saw Faith getting pushback at the competitions.
He said, "Do you know what you're doing?" And then he said, "What is this, some sort of transgender event now?" In front of everybody. Industry workers, parents, other students. I didn't respond directly to him. I said, "Let's roll," pulled my hair out of my ponytail and started rolling, and I placed second.
It brought a lot of frustration to myself and to our entire timber sports team, who felt like one of our own had been targeted.
They brought their concerns to state officials with the Department of Education. One official confirmed with me tonight, as of this week, all competition for the forestry events will now include all genders.
Even though there's been ups, downs, we've been angry, we've been sad, at the end of the day, this is a huge win for us and hopefully for women in our industry.
What do you want to tell maybe other young girls, young women, or whoever in these situations where they're being told that they shouldn't be doing something? What do you want to tell them?
You can. It might feel like there's a world stopping you, but you can. You need to break through those barriers. There are people there for you. You need to go talk to them. You need to get your voice out there. Break those barriers and do it.
Let's now take a look at our 3-day forecast. For tomorrow, it will be cloudy with a high of 48 and low of 23. For Thursday, the clouds stay around and the temps get colder, with a high of 37 and a low of 19. And finally, for Friday, the sun is back, but it will be cold with a high of 35 and a low of 24.
Wrapping up tonight's show, a building implosion gone awry has created an unexpected tourist destination in Dallas, the Leaning Tower of Dallas, as it's being called. Brooke Rogers has the story.
You could say Dallas is booming right now. But
When the smoke cleared, the past wasn't quite ready to turn to dust.
And I saw the pictures, I'm like, I have to go see it. I have to go see it.
Sunday's failure was Monday's internet sensation, as crowds flocked to see the building frozen mid-demolition. The stubborn leftover is the core shaft that contained the elevator and stairwells, according to Lloyd D. Neighbors' demolition. But to everyone else, it's the Leaning Tower of Dallas.
Yeah, we had to come get our picture with it leaning, just like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So now we have our own. We think it should stay.
It's a beautiful addition to our skyline. Albeit a little different, but it is adds some character to our beautiful skyline.
It won't for much longer. Once the tower comes down, construction on a 27-acre mixed-use development called the Central Dallas will begin. Developer Artemio de la Vega says picture places to work, live, and play with a park as the centerpiece.
The green space will also have an opportunity for health and wellness, which will include, think yoga in the mornings and exercising outdoors when the weather's good.
The first phases, which include office space, hotels, a high-rise, and part of the park, should be complete by the end of 2022. And even though the Leaning Tower of Dallas will be long gone, De La Vega says it will live on in the Central, one way or another.
I think we should memorialize this because it's a part of our history.
Remember, if you have a story you would like us to cover,
or if you have an announcement about an upcoming event, please send it inter-school mail to the TV studio at High School East, or you can email us at tv21@trschools.com.
Also, be sure to tune in to TV21 throughout the day to catch this show as we bring you stories from around the district. Also, please take a look at our website, www.trschools.com/TV21.
Well, that wraps up tonight's show. For Tom's River Schools Today, I'm Addie Gatanis.
And I'm Julia Zulin. Have a great night.